Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here, and at the same time I feel like a little bit afraid. When I was seeing you all and speaking English all the time, you know, I'm from Germany, I thought, oh my God, do I have enough English words to do that? Yeah. Do I have enough knowledge about integrative healing to do that? And then I thought, you know what, it's not about my fear, it's about sharing. And this is all that counts, and now I'm here. So, thank you so much. So what does integrative healing mean in the context of awakening? You might have your own opinion about that. For me, it means that everything that has to do with us human beings, no matter if it's health, or if it's relationship, career, coaching, counseling, body work, whatever it is, I believe it has to become more female. It's way too male. And when I say that, I want to repeat what Leslie said before. I don't mean men, women. I mean, it's way too linear, way too logical. There are so many boxes out there that are just waiting for us to fit in somehow. And I don't believe that this is creating healing at all. What do you think, right? No. It's actually serving the dis-ease and the disconnection. Oh, I'm that patient. Oh, I'm that kind of depression person. Yeah, I'm more like this, I'm more like that. So you're busy with fitting into all these boxes all the time. But what really counts is, what is it when I feel that I'm integrated in my healing, and I live it in my health, in my relationships, and in my career. And I think this is a big subject here, even more than in Europe, because I feel in Europe we have this access, you know, to all those alternative and natural healing modalities. And a lot of modalities come from the United States, by the way. And here it's more regulated. Yeah. So I think it's very important to share this knowledge with you. So why did I get into integrative healing? As we all have our history with it, I had my own history. I was born into a third world country in Middle Asia, the former USSR, into a totally poor family. No health care at all, no hygiene, you know, in the middle of winter, and we had really we were living in bad conditions. So my father used to be 20 years in the Russian labor camp, in the concentration camp. My mother, 13 years. And what I have learned very early, because when I was almost 2, we got out of the USSR and went to Germany, because we were considered originally as being Germans. So what it told me and taught me that I would like to share with you is there's always a way out. Do you hear me when I take it a little bit more like this as well? That's better? Okay, good. So there's always a way out. It was in 1966 where practically nobody could get out of Germany. The other lesson that I needed to learn is that everybody takes their prison cell with them. And I don't mean it just literally, I mean it, you know, on all levels. And we're all longing, I think that's very international. We're all longing to free ourselves, right? On all levels, of course. We're not doing it underneath, yeah. We want the top, we want to be free. So when we were in Germany, I saw that my father never overcame his problems as being an ex-soldier, his traumas. I saw my mother taking, you know, these painkillers all the time. And my sister, she's older than I am, she ended up in the mental health care. And I was taking that prison cell with me as well. I was the first one, I was the youngest, who was supposed to be brought up in freedom, in a good health system, in luxury, in everything that you might imagine, abundance. You know, everything was there. But I couldn't just be there and enjoy it. I don't know if you have experienced that ever in your life, that it's actually all there, but you don't really take it in how you could. Yeah, you have. So this happened to me. It went to the point where I was all the time, I was sick, my spine was so blocked that I couldn't even crawl to the toilet. It was so blocked. It was getting worse and worse. So what was the most important thing was when my father died then, because of all this misery inside him. He died very early of cancer. And I made a promise to him that I'm now fulfilling in his name, and I'm very proud of that. I said, you know what, we seem to be so lost, all of us, even though we are in freedom, we are in luxury, we're not really living it. I want to find all the answers that get us there. I might not have found all the answers, but I have found some. I will promise you, when he went over to the other realms, when he was about to die, I promise you there will be a change. So what I did, I was studying a lot of medicine, physical therapy, medicine, natural medicine, Eastern medicine, family constellation, all the psychological things that are helping us or not. And I was so willing to really turn my life around, but it didn't never do that effect with me. I was going to the psychologist, I was going to the body work, I was going to the teachings, I was reading the books, I was doing the spiritual stuff, everything. So I was really spread around everywhere, yeah, and I tried to fit into all those boxes, and what happened, it got even worse. Who knows that here? Have you ever experienced that? And I was starting to doubt myself, and I thought something is wrong here. And this is now the good part of the story. I thought, there is something missing. And when I miss it, I'm sure there are thousands and millions of others who are willing to have that change in their life, who really invest everything. But even though they know so much, and even though they have tried so much, it doesn't take them there yet. And I found those people. I will give you more examples. So what turned it around? You might ask that question very loudly, and I heard it. It turned around that I thought you have to do everything exactly the opposite. Not everything. So, there are all these good therapies, all these good researches out there. But what's missing is that we always try to fit in. And the healing process, the integrative healing process, should be exactly the other way around. You have something in the family, okay, take the best thing out, make it fit into you. Oh, there's a physical pain. Take that out and make it fit here. Make sure that I know I don't have enough hands, yeah, but make sure that it's integrated and that it plugs into each other. Oh, there's a mental issue. Oh, you don't need to know all these kind of things, but when you connect this mental thing with that family thing and with that body issue, you really get that chemical chain reaction that integrates everything from inside out. I give you an example. So on my search, I found, of course, other people who were suffering from the same thing, like my German multiple sclerosis patient. He has multiple sclerosis for ages. And I was supposed to treat him. And if I would have treated him the normal way, the more male and linear way, the logical way, I would have given him exercises, I would have given him a medication, I would have given him some advices, but that might not have been what he really needed. So what did we do instead? We reorganized his whole nervous system, because his nervous system was frozen in certain fear, fight, and flight patterns, surviving patterns. So whatever he understood and tried to do, he could always only use the same muscles, but never those who were left out anyway, because his body didn't know. So what we did, we interrupted those frozen patterns from surviving into alignment. He's still walking, by the way. I give you another example. A woman came to me, she's originally Asian, because of an issue with her mom, which is very rare. Okay. German humor, it's not really funny, I know. I'm not supposed to be funny. Okay, so she's one of those rare people who have some issues with the mom. I'm a mom myself, by the way. So my son tells everybody the same thing. Bad issues, an Asian family where the women didn't count anyway. She came and she said, you know what? Nobody sees me how I really am. Nobody really understands me. And my mom is letting me pay the price for something that she didn't solve. So she needed the same approach, even though it was a totally different subject. She needed to be integrated into her whole system as well. We looked what is happening here. Oh, in her case it was not that she needed this body organization, that the body is in a good order again and functions appropriately. In her case, the family system needed to be reorganized. Does that make sense? It makes sense. It makes totally sense. It's not logical because it's not so linear, but it makes totally sense. So we needed to find that place where her female lineage was starting this, let somebody else pay the price for the unsolved issues with abusive behavior and all these things. And we could really identify it within a few minutes. It doesn't take long. It's like Leslie said before, it's like this. And then we brought it from a very unhealthy dynamic into a nourishing order, into a nourishing dynamic. And what happened is that she didn't need to work on herself all the time, to forgive her mom, or to, all these mental things. It wasn't even necessary to go there, because it was already changed from inside out by having a totally different place of understanding, alignment, and knowing. And the third example that I would like to share with you is that an African, I think you say here in your country so that I say it correctly, African American woman came, right? Okay. And you will see it's very international, this burden. And she said, you know what, she came for her career, because at the end it doesn't matter for what you come to enjoy integrative healing, because your healing doesn't care where it takes place. If it's in the career, in the body, in the family, it doesn't care. In the mind, in the soul, in the energy. What really is important is to find that point that changes it, like a chain reaction, like a domino reaction. And in her case, it was very interesting, because she said, I'm very successful, I'm a coach, and I'm very successful, I know it and I'm very grateful for it, but I can only take success so far, and I never go beyond that. There's always something happening in my life that throws me back to this certain level. I don't know, do you experience something like that as well? Yeah? So far, and then it throws you again into something that you know already, it's so familiar. So in her case, it was not important that she get another business coaching or she does another seminar. In her case, it was important that she dares to step out of the system, showing loyalty, honoring the loyalty to her forefathers. And I knew exactly what she was talking about because I came from there, from a persecuted family where everybody died or had diseases. I was the only one who didn't. I'm still here, yeah, and I'm not in the prison cell either. So I knew exactly, and she knew that I knew. So what we did, we went back, you know, ages and centuries of healing. You know, way before it all started with slavery, with persecution, with all these things, honored what has happened, gave both parts, I generalize it now, give the perpetrator and the victims a rightful place, and then so give her a place, a new place, where she recalibrates herself, honoring where she comes from, but daring to take it further. Does that make sense? It was so deep. It was so deep. And it solved a lot of other conflicts that she had. Or maybe, let's say, symptoms. She had a lot, you know, digestion symptoms. She had a lot of headache, a lot of physical symptoms. And you know what? 80% of these symptoms were going away because of solving that deep historical burden, and to unburden it, and to even transform it into a blessing. You understand? So this is what I experienced for myself. I don't have to be cut into pieces to fit in. No, those pieces, they have to fit into me. It's exactly the other way around. And when you know that, and when you use it, this deep healing, even those kind of feelings where you think sometimes, oh my God, that might never happen, they happen. Like for example, with my MS patient in Germany, of course his name is Hans, yeah. His name is Hans. What happened for him is that we're still working with each other long distance. Yeah. So whenever there's something that blocks his ability to cope with the MS on a deeper level, on a higher potential level, in the best way, I always call it in the optimal way. Whenever something is there, we find it out together what it is. And you know, it's really like, it's better than any krimi in the TV, because you never know what comes out. So last time when we saw each other, it was the relationship to his wife. She's very caring, but what happened is she became too caring. So what did we do? We solved it, we clarified it, we did something again about it to change it. But we would never have thought that this is what he needed next. Yeah? Or another time, there was something that was hidden inside him, where he needed to go into his, you know, what he was taking on from his father. So we needed to go into the ancestors, not only, you know, us who have this big history from the ancestors, is also everywhere, where you don't know that you're carrying somebody else's load, somebody else's story. And we needed to put all those puzzle pieces together to get there. What is happening He's now walking, even though he has MS for 40 years. What happened to the Asian woman? She has freed herself. She finally divorced, found a job, and has found peace with her mom. Yeah? And the African-American woman, she moved from the place where she lived before, and she dared to do what she really wanted to be on stage. It's not you. Be on stage and be there for a big crowd of people. So she hits the wall, being out there already. And I hope that everybody here found something in those stories for yourself, because at the end we might have different languages, different kind of humor, and all these kind of things, but at the end we all have the same. We have a physical, an emotional, energetic, a mental, a systemic, a soul, and a level beyond time and space. And healing takes place when all of them are integrated. Thank you, Rita.
Definitely love a powerful prison cell that we carry. I don't know about you, I carry a prison cell, and I want to acknowledge everybody for being here, because part of being here is helping to get out of that prison cell. So that was wonderful and great stories. So we have about 7 minutes for questions and answers for Rita.
Talk slowly. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just have one comment. It's a compliment.
Oh, thank you.
This is the second time I've heard you, and you are just delightful, and every time I hear you, I get more from it. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you so much. Maura, do you have a question?
Not a question, no. I was just thinking that I went to see Rita, and the work was amazing. I was so surprised by what came out, and it was just one of the best things that I've done. So thank you.
It has a lot to do with you. Thank you. We work together, like experts are working together. Everybody's an expert.
I can know this first, so I hope yeah. I can imagine that you would probably be able to heal my husband's insomnia, because he's done the sleeping pills and all of the exercise and whatever. And there are two concerns I'm thinking about. One is, I know you work with Hans, and you probably work with other men, but I'm wondering if you find that men are cynical or skeptical of your technique, because I can imagine that my husband would think of it as a sort of kind of magic, and if there's no science behind it, whereas I know that you could heal him. That's the first thing. And the second concern I have is that if he did come to you for his insomnia, you probably would find out that the root of the problem is me. So I'm torn.
Well, that real questions. Let me just clarify. So with the first thing, coming from Germany, from the south of Germany, and I always worked with a very broad spectrum of people, and always international. In Germany, they can be very, very hard. They have a very high expectation. And I worked even with politicians, and we were all wondering where this goes. And they were one of the most, would you say, loyal people, because a lot of the things that I use in these kind of techniques are very well researched and deeply rooted in science or in spiritual experience. The difference is that we make a new chemical reaction. So it's not like we just do medical things, which is like compared to our science, like oxygen, or do just body stuff, or just spiritual stuff, which you can compare to hydrogen. We build water. And as soon as people come and make the experience of drinking that water, I've made the experience that it doesn't count anymore. If they believe in it, if they are men or women, it's the experience that changes them immediately. And I would like to offer for everybody who wants to experience it here, I have a booth and I offer free demonstrations, because it's not something that you talk about, it's something where you can come with your stuff or with your husband's stuff and experience for yourself. Oh, what would your specific chemical reaction look like? We don't go as deep as inner, we keep it safe, yeah? Thank you.
Hi. You may have this answer my question, but
Yeah.
you talked a lot about the philosophical structure of the work that you do. Something about the logistical structures and also the phone conversation, either you have to in-person visit. How does that work for you working with clients?
I'm very grateful for this question. It's, in the meantime, it doesn't matter anymore. Because my own limitations were gone by the meantime, so I do it in person, I do it through Skype, and I do it on the phone. We even do the body organization on Skype. My German Hans, my client, he gets it while he's in Germany, and I'm now here. And it works through the morphogenetic field and the DNA and all these kind of things. It works so well. Thank you for asking. Because healing doesn't know miles. Like, I don't know miles either. I just pretend I know kilometers, But until miles, okay, I don't know. In inches, I have no clue. So, and with the healing, it's the same. Healing doesn't care. It's beyond limitation. There was somebody else, I think. Karen, did you raise your hand as well?
Well,
Before?
actually, someone else asked my question.
Oh,
How
very
do you
good.
stand to work with you? But
Yes.
When did you come to America? It's so wonderful that you're here.
Yes, thank you so much. Because I've worked so much on myself, I finally got out of Germany and worked in Hawaii for a long time. We went back and forth, and I'm here since October, and I want to spread it all over and have you all be a part of it, because I feel like integrative healing should be so integrated in everybody that it's not out there, something that has to do with so many dollars and time. It should be in here. So let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you.